Let's put some bracing on the Gravely building. I'm Tom Gavitchak, and this is Tom's Trains and Things. This channel was created to help other modelers who are in need of guidance in pursuing their dream of building a model railroad. And in this episode, we're going to put some bracing on the Gravely building. When I first started, I said I didn't want to go over 20 minutes when I was doing the instructions. But it's kind of hard to not go over that 20 minutes when I'm trying to explain what I'm doing. I'm trying to go into detail, showing the beginners how I'm doing things without leaving out the important aspects of the projects that I'm doing. So I'm going over the 20 minutes, and you're just going to have to bear with me on this. I've cut out some of the parts in it already. If I left out any details, I apologize for that. Maybe in the next one I'll let it go a little bit longer. But I got 22 minutes of instructions in this one. I'm not counting the dialogue in the beginning at the end of it. I might ramble on a little bit about that, and I'll cut this one short right here. So let's get on with the instructions right now. I wanted to start this off by showing you this piece right here. How much warpage was in there. Okay. Now, if you can imagine, this is the rear wall of this kit. Now, if we painted this, and if you can imagine how much warpage you would get out of this piece right here if it was in this size of piece of wood, it would probably be 3 times as much warpage as what you would have on here. So we'll just leave it at that. Okay, that's my demonstration of that. Today we're going to cut out the exterior walls, and what I did was I already put a new blade in there, and that's a good idea anytime you start a new project, is start off with a new blade. And we're just going to go down and just cut off these little tabs in there, and usually they just have a couple of tabs that hold in the pieces here, and that's all you got to do is just go along there, find the little tabs and cut them off. Once we get all these done, we'll just sand off the edges of them. And a lot of times they only have the tabs on opposing sides, so you don't have to worry about them all over, which makes it pretty easy just to knock these out. If you need any other spare pieces of wood, you could always have some here. If you need, want to make some small projects, you always have some scrap pieces of wood. I always save them. Like I said, once I get all these out, we'll just sand the edges off, get them smooth, get all the burn spots off of it, because burn marks on the edges from the laser. Now the exterior walls are pretty thick. I'll have to go over and with the sandpaper and just smooth these down a little bit all the way around. Let's see, you got all these good, we can make little signs out of these, use the back side of it or anything for, I always keep all my scrap pieces of wood. On the pieces that have the straight edges, I'm just going to show it to you on the piece of sandpaper. And the ones with the tab, I have the sandpaper glued onto a popsicle stick, or an oversized popsicle stick, or a tongue depressor, and I'll do the tab like that. But just to get the where the tab was on there, like this, just to smooth that out. But you go over just to smooth down all the sides. And take care, you know, like where you have the small edges. It's very delicate. Like right here on this edge right here. You don't want to put too much pressure on it. Or you'll be breaking that off. Since this is a tab and slot construction, you have to make sure that the tabs fit in all the slots, and there's a lot of room in here. And one thing that I normally do is I usually wait until I'm finished with all the wall sections first before I start on the roof sections, but I'm going to have to work on the roof also, since they're tied in with all the wall sections, so I'm going to have to work on those also. So I have everything sanded down on the wall section, so I'm going to have to start on the bracing now, but I'm also going to have to work on the roof sections also once I get the bracing in. So I'm just going to have to determine where to put all the bracing in here, since they don't have the diagrams for it. So I'm going to work on that right now to determine where to put the bracing on here. What I'm doing here is checking the location of this center wall because I want to put bracing on this back wall, and I just wanted to see if where the center wall was going to be touching this back wall, and I just wanted where I wanted to put the bracing on here. So I just wanted to see if it was going to be right there, so I just wanted to check the location of it. So it's going to be right on the edge. There's going to be a 5/64 corner piece right here, so I'm going to run my 5/32 bracing all along this edge right here. And since I'll give you an indication right here, I'll put these together. You can see the side wall is a little bit higher, so the roof is going to be up against this back wall right here. So my roof is going to sit on top of here. So I'm going to make a mark right here, so I can't go any higher on this one. I'm going to have to do the same on here. Turn this around on this side for my bracing here, and I can't go any higher than that for my bracing on this one here. So on this one I'm going to put a brace right here, and then down the center, and then I could put a brace on over here. So I'll have 3 braces on this one. On the back wall I'll have it here, and then I'll have to come over 5/32 and then put a brace over here, because this is going to come over, and this will actually not quite be together. They'll actually be like this, and there'll be a 5/64 square piece right in there, and I'll have my 5/32 square right in here, and then I'll have another 5/32 square on this one here. So that'll be a good gluing surface. I'll have 2 5/32 squares right here, one on this one and then one over here, and this one will be 5/32 back, so that'll be a good gluing surface like that. So I'll have one here and then one back here, further back. And so the same thing will be here for this. I'll have one here, and then this piece will be right here. There'll be a 5/64 square piece right here where that'll sit. This will be on the inside right here, and then the 5/32 square piece will be right here. And then on this side, the 5/32 will be here, and then right here there'll be a 5/64 square piece on the outside, and then this will be right here with the 5/32 right there. And then I took this piece off. This is the backing for the storefront, and then there'll be 1/64 pieces here that I mean, there'll be layer upon layer for the storefront, but this is the heavy piece that all the layers will be going on. I had to take that off to see how this comes together right here, because I had to see how this matches up. But with all the layers on this over here, some of the brickwork wraps around the edge when this comes together right here. I determined the location of all the bracing on here. This one, okay, like on here, I put it right down the center, and then where I got the squiggly lines, I got them offset a little bit on here, because like on this one over here, I have it on this one, so this one's a little bit off on that side there. And make room for my little chopper. And I always have extra 5/32 square basswood. I get it at Hobby Lobby or my local hobby store. There you go, $2.99 for 5 sticks, 24 inches long at Hobby Lobby. 5/32 by 5/32. Okay, I got all the bracing cut for it, and I normally cut it just a hair long, just so I could get it in there and just shave it down a little bit. And so I'm going to call it a night, and then I'm going to glue it in the morning. Okay, I'm using Aleene's Quick Dry Tacky Glue, and I could use the original also, but right now I have the Quick Dry out. So what I do is put a little dab over here in the corner, and I have my glass out, my little multi-purpose tool. And I just put the glue on here, and then once I get it on here, I'll smooth it out. I'll put my piece up against my square block. And make sure I'm not going down below the bottom and not against the top where I have my line up there. Make sure I don't go above that. Okay, and I'm up against my square block there, and I just press down on it. Make sure you got a good bond there. Now you really don't have to clamp it down or anything. It's gonna, with the quick dry, I mean, it's gonna hold it in there. And you can move over to the other side. I'll just turn this around like this. And we can work on the other side here. And then once we get that, we'll work on the center part. And I'll show you how to do that. I always end up putting a bigger glob of glue down than what I need. Either that or I don't put enough down. And I'm right in the middle. Okay. It's alright if you get glue, because you can always wipe it off. You put pressure up against your piece, up against your block. And a little bit of glue is going to seep out on your block, but that's all right. You can see it a little bit there. And when you're finished, when that dries, you can just sand that right down lightly. You don't have to worry about it on the inside though. But what I normally do is I'll just take it and wipe it off lightly. But what you do on your block, you take your number 18 blade. I usually have an old number 18 blade and just scrape it a little bit on there, and that gets the glue off. Now for the inside one, I got a low profile square that I put on there to do the centers. See, and we can just set it in here like this when we're doing the centerpiece. See, and I have it marked right there, and I have it right up against here. Let's get this into position right there, and I have it a little bit back from the doorway, so it's about right there. So I'll get a little bit of glue on there. Now, aren't you glad that I'm not going to go through and make you watch all the side pieces. Just saying, woohoo, yeah. All right, let me get the excess off of here. Just go down there like this. Get a nice smooth like that. A little bit of excess off of there. Get it off my finger too. Get that square like that. Hold it tight. We'll make sure we're not over the roof line. Bring it up, we can slide it up. Okay. Now we got it on there tight. And there we go. Now it's nice and straight on there. Now I always cut these just a little bit long, and if we're down past the bottom, it's all right. And I didn't cut them too long to where we're down below there. But if I did, I could always sand it down a little bit. So we're in good shape, and that's what it looks like. That's a good bracing right there. So I'm gonna cut this off, and I'll show you what it looks like when I have all the other ones finished. I have all the outside walls bracing done right now. Now here's the offset that I did on the wall here, and the reason I did that is because this is the back wall and this is the side wall, and here's how they come together. You can see that's how they come together right there. Okay, now this is what I didn't show you how I did it. I just took a scrap piece of 5/32, and while I was gluing this piece right here, I just put this up against the block, and when I put this down in there, I just have that in there as a spacer so I could push it up against there, and then you just take that right off there, and then you have the gap right there, 5/32, and that's it. So that's it for this episode. That's what we got for right now. In the next video, I'm going to add some cross bracing in it so we could add some floors. Okay, this is a 3-story building, so I'm going to add some floors to it so we could put some walls in there. We could put some interior details in it and maybe some lighting later on. And we're going to do the storefront. We're going to do some painting, and we're going to do a lot of different things. So we'll talk about that on the next episode. So if you haven't done so already, and Debbie's over there looking around the corner, starting to laugh already. So, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And you know why? Because it is free. And she's over there doing that stuff. Okay. Leave a comment. Let me know. Do you want the details? Okay? Because I'm trying to teach you what's going on here. Okay. But I don't want to leave out the details. So let me know. Do you want the details in there? Okay? I don't want to leave them out, and I don't want to leave you guessing either. So leave a comment. Give me a thumbs up. Tell your friends about it. Share the video. Check out my website. All the pictures are on there, and I put the pictures about the wall on there too. That's up on there now, and I'm going to add some more pictures on there. I'm going to put the pictures on. On a previous video, I told you about the pictures that I'm on. What was it? Colorado Model Railroad Museum and Colorado Railroad Museum and Forney Transportation Museum in Denver. I'm going to put those pictures up in there, and I'm going to put them on YouTube also. So, PayPal Me account. Check it out right there. All right. And we'll see you. Check out that little thing right there. And we'll see you. And check out the next video coming up in another week. So,